How is it? Do you have a lot of oases like this? Even if each one is a food, it will be much more expensive than others. I laughed so much. Is that enough? Enough is enough, old man. Although we have to examine them carefully first. But only half of this jade crocodile. That's enough to buy all the materials you need. Only half of it, really. Hyan Lin laughed falsely and thought, I also know the value of the shack. I just want to hear. How will the emperor respond? He continued, then I hope you can sell all of this stuff and send the rest of the money back for the paint. The Lord is sweating you. You have entrusted me with such an important task. Sao. Hoa-san and the trade union. They are also considered brothers. If we don't trust the company, so who do we have to trust? Hyan Lin and Royal Meaning, exchanging eyes with each other. Although I don't know later, do they think differently or not? But now, they're giving each other overflowing eyes, filled with faith. What is the salary? The Holy Spirit immediately responds according to your conscience. But at least we can get that answer. The meaning of the word is also exhausted. Okay, I'll deal with this quickly. As soon as possible, and ensure the confidentiality of your information. So I'm counting on you. Yes, allow me to go first. I saw the Lord leave in a hurry. Calm down and walk inside. His stomach, his mouth, his shoulders were trembling. And then you can't control it. Laugh out loud, hee 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 hee. It's not just him, it's Hun Tong, Hyan Van Lava, and also Than Min. This time, it's like they're in heaven. Move the scene to Bak Thin's place. A monk asked in question. The master and the elders, you've been acting strangely these days. It's not weird, it's suspicious. They keep laughing unreasonably. Even the Ming dynasty. He even asked to see if he was in pain or need any help. You are so confused. You have news about your brother defeating the disciples of O, and Than Min had candy with their elders. Brother, when you finally get out, what happened to you? White Thin calmly replied, it's true that something happened, but you don't have to worry. I can't give you all the details for now. And the Kier rumors are going away. I understand your curiosity, but when the right time comes, then you will know. Do you understand? It's boring. Even you can't tell me why. It seems like you still trust the swordsman. More than you. If you listen to that, you will be quiet. There's nothing wrong with my decision. With a scowl on his face like Than Min. You will know when the time comes. The monk is startled, brother. Why are you acting like a young boy? Change the scene tone, ring call Than Min. The master told me to meet him. The soldiers asked. Why did he call you, and why did he call you? After a while, the three of them arrived. Master of Leap Tongue said, I have brought Ming and Master here. Come on in. Yes, carefully open the door and go inside. Then it's clear and masterful. There is nothing special inside. They are still familiar faces. There is one other person. That's the trade union. Huang Wenfei. He greeted the chief. Have you been well? He walked over happily to shake his hand. Long time to see you again. Have you been okay lately? The sage began to speak. I have called Ming Ming according to your will. What do you want to say? Thank you, Mercantile Union, the chairman of the Board of Trustees. I came here myself. It's because of work that Hoa-san has entrusted to grace the trade union. What's the problem with that? It's not a problem. It's... The prince now crouched down like there was no face left. I'm really sorry. But with the current power of the mercantile grace, what we can't afford, that Hoa paint requires. Than Min surprised. He said grace and mercy. I'm not qualified to do that. The tree is worth answering if it has to be justified. I just want to say that it's not a trade union. It's all the other companies in the world. It's all the same. Than Min standing picture, wide open silk eyes. I didn't think so, my tiger. My voice shouted outside the room. There is nothing in this world that is not possible. If you can't, make it work. Hold it back, he ordered. Immediately both white sky and leap tone. Hold fast to the light. This angry, whining voice let me go. He looked at the horse and asked a small question. It's because of ice. I've heard it's in the deepest reaches of the North Sea. It's the most precious and the hardest to find of the necessary materials to create a pharmacy. Even it's under the control of the North Sea state. Even if you have money, it is hard to hold in your hand. Royal Question Medicine laughed bitterly. Getting ice crystals is a very difficult thing to solve. But with the power of the mercantile grace, it can be as much as you need. What we can't find now is not ice. Just said. He just took out of his shirt a notebook and opened it. It's a dead herb. Haiyan Tong questions. There are real herbs on the list. But it doesn't look so bad. So I didn't care much. That thing is so precious. Or is the price extremely high? The queen replied, absolutely not. It's a rare thing though. They only appear in a special place. But it's not that powerful. It can't be called herbal medicine. I'm sure the director knows about TC. 5 is the same. Yes, of course I know. The 5 forces are the 5 forces, located in the border area of Chung Myung. Each of those forces, that's the same power as one of the 9, should be collectively referred to by such a name. They consist of the northern bow, which is the blood bow. Daddy reaches the bow. Nam Hai solar bow and Nam Mang commune animal bow. The problem lies in Nam Mung commune. One of TC 4 and 5 same. The doctor continued to explain. Herb is a natural herb. In the deep valley of Yunnan. In the past, it wasn't hard to find it. At that time, there were especially no traders trading it. So just trouble. You have to go to Yunnan in person. But now, the road to where there's a dead herb, it's almost blocked. Don't get stuck saying that's why. Royal questions and answers. That's the animal kingdom we talked about earlier. They blocked that road. Say exactly. It's not just the road to where the herbs are. They used their power to prevent stitching for people of Chung Myung back and forth. It's a little annoying. A sect that's blocking the way. That's what I hear. Question the sour laughter. Male shoots. It's a place where we can't use our enjoyment to understand, because the martial arts and the violent organizations of that place occupy a whole region and Kai rules it like a king. The power and law of the court. You can't control them. High in tone for you, but we still don't understand. Why did they block this road? The doctor was silent for a moment and then continued. Since the bloody battle with magic in the past, the relationship between male, wild animals and martial arts, Chung Myung, quickly got worse. For the first time, ghosts started harassing foreigners. They asked for help from the Chinese martial arts. But Chung Myung martial arts, he didn't reach out to them. Maybe they think there's no need to waste all their energy because of a small foreign power. I've been listening to headphones ever since. Suddenly, a tongue. I thought that, and then there was blood. That's why, ever since the wildness of shamanism disappeared, Nam Mang Commune Animal Palace, it was completely stopped. All interactions with the people of Chung Myung. The doctor sighed that was not enough. Now they don't even allow the people of Chung Myung approach again. So the seven-figure is not small. Yunnan's most famous tea in Chung Myung. This tea is one of the main sources of income of many merchants in western China and Sichuan. But because the trade route with Yunnan is blocked, so they've suffered 7 huge losses. White Sky spoke. In other words, their leader is so sure. The traders, they were also forced to give up a large part of their profits. That's right, continued the bowed man. Chief student, there are other things we can bring back, but only herbs with our power. There's nothing I can do. Sorry. High in tone, awkward hand area. Please raise your head, boss. It's not your fault. The master of medicine replied, yes. I see why. Even if there's no death herb, then can you make a knitting mixture? Master of herbs. The tactile replied with an awkward voice. Knitting practice. It's not about mixing all the ingredients to form. When mixing the ingredients perfectly through special knitting practices, that can create a superior effect. However, if a material is missing or the wrong dose, it's not even 1/10 effective. There must be more efficiency. If you can't make raw a perfect knitting spirit, it is better to eat the ingredients directly. Can't create a knitting death once the herb is missing. Here so the faces of all darken. At that moment, there was a bleak voice like no other. Like an echo from the hell of the Ming. Echoing through the room. That's what you're talking about. You're a fucking southern thug. That bow refused to deliver the raw materials to make the knitting mixture. Not to kill Dan, right? The face of Ming Ming flushed red. It's like it's about to explode. Those are the bastards. I'm tired of living it all. When he saw that it was about to break, he immediately ordered it. Hurry up and control it. Min just tried to fight. The people around him rushed in. Hold him. But he was quickly pushed behind him. He put his hands down on the table. You have the courage to block the road. Just eat a few beets, they will automatically know the way out. Let me see them. Broken head, dare to stop the road or not? Master or SAO again? I can see the eyes burning. The fire of the Ming. I also know, prepare to have a bad spot. I'm going to Yenin. Smash those bastards' heads and bring back the herbs. Than Min said. White Sky Terror dare to stop. This is the male bear. TC5 is the same. Mess with them. It's not enough to have heads. Serenely replied the Min. Why should I worry about my head? He was so excited. Those guys have to worry about their heads. White Sky and Leap Tone hear that, they can only sigh. That's right. Suddenly, I'm worried about them. The police are monitoring the situation and speak up. Trade union owner. If an Yunnan banned the Chung Yuan people from entering, then can we use people in other areas? Like Westerners, for example. People who are not Chinese. Can you go into Yunnan? It's his idea. Immediately get everyone's attention. Royal Medicine opened his eyes wide. Oh, this kid's got a good business mind. He replied, we've tried that too. But they're all 7 failures. Back to the Westerners trading in Yunnan. Signed a contract. Not transfer items to Trung Nguyen. If they are discovered, they will fly. So they have no intention of getting their hands on it. Royal Medicine special sigh. This herb is in a remote place in Yunnan. Located right next to the area of Nam Mang Commune Animal Palace. Even those in the West are forbidden to enter this place. So we can't use that to get the herbs. It's even banned from Yunnan. It's not part of the South bringing wild animals in and out. I have 7 hopes when I hear that. I understand. That's raw. He gritted his teeth. So we have a conclusion. Let's go to Yunnan and get those bastards. It's a vegetable gamete. Received the restraints with a weak voice. I told you it was a bear. Than Min laughed belly. That's why I'm a student of Hoa Sun. While they were arguing, then Hien Tien mused again. The hero must have the herb. That we've got a way to make knitting mixes without training Ra. It's an unacceptable thing. Even if you have to mobilize all the power of Hoa Sun, you also have to train yourself. He made up his mind and looked at the light. I'm pretty sure you can do it. His face was more serious than ever. It's a very dangerous thing to do, but it's also a very important thing. That's why I asked. Khan, can you bring the herb back safely? The corners of the mouth of the Ming stick up. He put his hand on his empty chest. My chief is Than Min. So please don't worry. I'll smash their heads off. And bring the herbs back here. Hearing that is also safer. He turned to the spirit and said, Tell the kids to prepare as quickly as possible. Hyan Lin said in a sweat. Your chief of staff is. I thought I'd send King Ming to Yunnan. When he heard that, he was sweating anxiously. He turned to look at Ming Ming and stood up. Master brother, can we go outside for a second? The dog and the dog quickly walked out of the room. Get as far away from the sand as you can. The spirit whispered to you and said, Brother, are you sending your kids to dangerous places again? Hyan Tong replied, I know. It's better if you have a leader. But as if to know, the kids will know their own intentions. Not so, I wonder. The spirit opened his mouth with an unsatisfied face. Take your children to such a dangerous place. There must be some countermeasure. Let the kids eat that. That thing. Before I could understand, the spirit continued. It's a mix. Move the scene to a moment later. My husband and I went back to the classroom. He put it in front of the group. 5 elixir tablets and mild vertical. You eat it. When you look at the tiger, you look at the tiger. Eat this, we are. Hyan Lin stood next to Frown. What do you think, or let me eat for you? Receive tone. Yeah, that's for sure. The elders must be the ones. Not enough time to stop the spirit interrupted. They are old men waiting to die. What's the point of eating it? Give me food for waste. Moreover, you are the ones who have found the knitting mixture. So of course, you have to eat first. Even if you find a tiger, it's not you. We will also feed you. The elder of the White Sky group was moved when you hear those words. Hyan Lin continued, Don't waste your time. This is no big deal. Kids, if we eat 5, we still have 15. Such a quantity, it's enough to study knitting. No, that's too much. And now the word is also given to the spirit. Finding death herbs in Yunnan. It's not an easy thing to do. So these knitted mixes. It will be very helpful for you. He said, recalling his decisive attitude. Let the children eat with the elixir of Hyan Lin. Before. Brother, if they have any fate, what should they do? Yes, I know, replied the Lord. Right now. Ming Ming quickly picked up a piece of mixed knit. Like nothing happened. Can you start eating now? Looking at the elixir in Tay Than Min, I sweat and think. I know they deserve it, but you have to do something. If we can't make any more drugs, eat it and sit next to it very quickly. Save it, and it will be ruined. Don't worry, just eat. The white sky also stood up and clasped hands. Bend over. White sky, child, definitely. I will never forget the grace of the master. And elders. And so do all of us. The rest of you are in agreement. What are these people doing? Hyen Lin aesthetic. It's not as important as a small crime. He looked over at Than Min, dripping cravings for Tom. Especially this cautious boy. Then the White Sky group went to get the knitting medicine. And sit down, prepare to absorb it. Both of you are not nervous right now, but standing by watching. No more hesitation. White Sky and Than Min group very fast. Put the elixir in your mouth and eat it. Into the mouth. The mixture immediately flowed down his throat. A refreshing feeling. It's like having a sip of fresh water from a stream deep in the forest. Quickly, LAN radiates throughout the body. Drop by drop of pure water falling. It suddenly becomes a water ray, and it turns into a cascade. The whole White Sky body starts to explode and shiver at that overwhelming feeling. The rush of energy. As if to break the calm lake. Monkey strong energy flow. It's like coming out of my mouth. And if I just move a little bit, just for now, my whole body will instantly explode. So this is a mix. After focus, I have to focus. Let go of all your thoughts and control the flow of principle. Has just been increased by the knitting mix. And start moving air around the body. And it feels like a flood. It just popped up in my body. The meridians also become more open. After being the principle of mixed knitting swept away, the pure impurities begin to widen the vessels and open up every single blood cell. Clogged acupressure points are also opened. The other three are the same. It was as if they were reborn a second time. Feel real to their fingertips. After a while, that same energy is beginning to be absorbed in large part, and its pressure is also decreasing. A sense of freshness filling the body, along with the energy that's filling up, that they've never experienced before. Although the principle of mixed knitting, it's filling the body, but only with the power of the four of them now. You can't absorb it all and make it mine. Basically, Spirit Dan's energy is being retained in the body, will be dissolved over time, so that when it can no longer be absorbed, the White Sky leads them. Because he knows greed. It is the shortest path to defeat. The primordial flow of the knitting mixture begins to go, under the guidance of Bak Thin, converging on his crochet. The White Sky breathed out a breath. You carefully feel your body that aesthetic. An unprecedented source of power. It's stretching all over my cells. The vision also becomes sharper. Auditory sense of smell and other senses. It's also completely improved. It feels like now, I can do everything. A bountiful flow of energy. It brings an excitement. It can't be explained in words. White Sky, thank you. Put your head up and say something. He was startled by the look on their faces. Hyen Tong. I only see their eyes. It looks like it could fall out at any time. White Sky turned to look, and immediately his eyes also widened in surprise. I only see now. Light is hovering in the air. and it's filled with energy. Shine around him. God, what the hell is this? Moreover, you go there. The world is even more panicked now. It's the 5 primordial tides. Not enough time for them to reshape. The dust around the city began to change. In the blink of an eye, all the surrounding air, all gathered in the direction of the light. White sky, blue face, talking loud. It seems like something terrible is about to happen. People, be careful. Just a few minutes ago outside. White Lance sitting on a hill, contemplating. There's something very hard about everything lately. Since people returned from Yunnan, then the atmosphere starts to change in a puzzling way. Now even the elders, they also showed their excitement. I think they must have done something. That's great. Compared to the days of eating poorly and wearing tattered clothes, now it's well dressed. There's nothing missing. But sometimes I still miss a painting. Face in front of gear. The painting at that time, it gives people a sense of purity. The purity is hard to describe. He's thinking. Then suddenly, there's a lot of light. It came from inside the master's room. Make attention. Very quickly, it's getting stronger and rumbling. The whole place quickly exploded. Not long after, the dust has cleared away. The room is now just a pile of rubble. The disgraced white angel was pushed to her back on the floor. I'm tired of sighing. This crazy guy, even when practicing, it can also cause problems or SAO. Nearby Haiyan Tung and Haiyan Lin were also turned into equally tattered form. Haiyan Lin annoyingly dusted off the dust on the struggling shirt. Whose sand power collapsed? Because of things like this. This is my room. The head teacher's room was smashed, leaving such a reaction. What is it? The warm feeling next to me thought. They have to be built again. My ears are heating up. Immediately jump when you hear it. We're about to get a new room. That's good. Now is not the time to think about that. Where is Than Min? At the same time, his body appeared in the center of the explosion. The surrounding dust gradually dissipated to reveal the tattered clothes. Along with that is Than Min's Super Saiyan version, full of muscle appearance. The light is startled right now. Open your eyes to the surrounding ruins. And brothers and elders with unkempt appearance. Straight into the eye. Than Min panicked. What the hell is this? Why is this place collapsing? We're under surprise attack, right? Who's responsible for this? The whole group heard that. Just shut up. You are the one who caused this mess. Haiyan Lin turned to ask. Master brother. We saw that earlier. It's not 5 tidal elements or SAO. I don't know. It's a little bit different than the 5 primordial tides. That we know. Who achieved the 5 tidal force during the operation? There will be 5 circles. But here, we've only seen 5. I haven't seen the circle. Haiyan Lin, happy. So can we say that? Ming has reached a level of relative zero. Hyan Tone mused. I don't know. Whatever the reason, we can confirm. Drinking the knitting mixture has been effective. But your master, that boy, how strong it can be after all. That question unconsciously made Han Tong silent. He turned to look at the aesthetic. How much stronger can it be? If it was this kid, we can't know the limits ourselves. How far will it go? When everyone's still buzzing. Ming just bent down. He stared at his hands. Feel the power filling your body. But I didn't think about it. The absorption of elements in Lin Dan, it's quite limited for me. Because the principle in his body, it's the purest kind in the world. And whether Lin Dan, it doesn't matter how many times it's refined. It can't be compared to the principle inside. Your body can. That's why eating apricot in the past, it didn't have a big effect. However, the knitting mixture is completely different. The principle inside the knitting mixture, it's not much actually, compared to knitting silk, but it has a higher purity than silk. Several times. Of course, the principles that we take in, it's going to be 1-0 absorbable, and it's going to have to be thrown out. Just like before when we ate snow. Even though inside that wicker, there's just a little principle, but I couldn't absorb the whole thing either. He held my hand lightly, thinking. I still have a long way to go. Finding the power of the past is still too far away. But thanks to the knitting mix, it seems that the distance has been shortened by a bit. The spirit also turned to ask, what do you think is effective or not? Than Min grinned. Haha, Elder, it is great. This has really worked. You suddenly turn around. Look at the box containing the medicine on Te Hyan Tan. With lust. It immediately made him flutter unconsciously. And he tightened the box. Than Min laughed and said, Chief student, I thought nothing would happen. Not if I take 1 or 2 more. I immediately stepped back and said, no, absolutely not. But before I try to say anything more, the heckler was in a hurry to scream. I still don't know what will happen. Hoa-sun has not been able to operate properly. So if that AI gets hurt, it's not that we still have tigers to cure that person. Or SAO, I can't give you more. Please forgive me if you hit me. He thought for a moment and then spoke softly. I was going to leave because I wanted a room. Fear of someone getting hurt. Hyan Tong, I'm starting to feel a terrifying aura. Through the voice of Ming. He's sweating. It seems like I've made a mistake. The soldiers clasped their hands and bowed their heads. First of all, I really thank you. Yunnan is a dangerous land. And mixed knitting, it will be of great help to students like you. To that extremely dangerous place. I'll repeat it again. It couldn't be more dangerous. And I don't know what's going to happen. That's the land of the south bearing false bow. It's filled with terrible things. In this world. Your boss is not good.